The Bible stands as one of humanity's most enduring treasures. 66 books, roughly 31,000 verses, and a tapestry of wisdom woven by prophets, kings, shepherds, fishermen and scholars across centuries. For billions, it serves as a moral compass, a source of comfort in grief, a blueprint for justice, love and purpose. Yet nestled within its pages, specifically in the often overlooked Book of Ecclesiastes, lies a harsh, unflinching truth that challenges our everyday assumptions about how life actually operates. It doesn't contradict the Bible's overarching message of divine order. Instead, it strips away illusions about fairness, progress, and lasting meaning in this broken world. Nothing, it seems, makes sense on the surface, not in the tidy way we expect from a guide to life. This uncomfortable reality has plagued thinkers for millennia. Why do good people perish young, while the wicked thrive? Why does poverty crush the innocent, while the corrupt amass fortunes? Why does evil often go unpunished, and virtue unrewarded? These questions echo through hospital waiting rooms, war zones, corporate boardrooms, and quiet nights of doubt. One of the most haunting aspects of this truth is the perishing of people who seem least deserving of it. We watch the gentle mother of young children succumb to cancer, while a cruel dictator lives past 90 in luxury. The honest teacher who pours his life into underprivileged students is struck down by a drunk driver, leaving his own family destitute. The missionary family serving in a remote village is wiped out by a sudden flood, their years of quiet sacrifice ending in unmarked graves. Solomon, the writer of Ecclesiastes, does not flinch from these scenes. He had seen them in his own lifetime: servants executed, blood shed by war, righteous judges replaced by corrupt ones who die wealthy in their beds. Death, he insists, is the great equalizer that mocks human categories of merit. It arrives not as a reward for wickedness or a punishment calibrated to sin, but as the unavoidable horizon that swallows every story under the sun. The righteous perish just as surely as the wicked. The difference is only that the righteous often leave behind a deeper grief, because the world senses, however dimly, that something valuable has been lost. This randomness does not mean God is absent or indifferent. Solomon repeatedly anchors his lament in the reality of divine sovereignty. Yet from our limited vantage point, we cannot trace the hidden purposes or appointed times. A young believer's early death may spare them from future temptation or greater sorrow. A long life granted to the unrighteous may serve as a patient call to repentance or a warning to others. We simply do not know. What we do see clearly is the shared fate. Rich and poor, famous and forgotten, all descend into the silence of the grave. The bodies that once ran marathons or cradled newborns return to dust. Legacies erode. Even the most inspiring lives become faded names on tombstones or entries in history books that fewer and fewer people read. Solomon's honesty forces us to confront this without sentimental illusions. Good people perish, faithful people suffer. And in their passing, the question echoes louder. If everything ends the same way, where is the profit in virtue? To understand this, we must step into Solomon's world. Tradition and scripture portray him as the son of King David, granted unparalleled wisdom by God after he humbly requested it instead of riches or long life in 1 Kings 3. His kingdom reached its golden peak. He built the magnificent temple in Jerusalem, forged alliances through strategic marriages, commanded vast armies, and accumulated wealth beyond imagination. Annual gold tributes alone equated to billions in modern terms. He authored thousands of proverbs and songs, studied nature, philosophy, and human behavior. He possessed 700 wives and 300 concubines, women from every nation, embodying pleasure and political power. Palaces, gardens, vineyards, fleets of ships, servants and treasures poured in. By every worldly metric, Solomon had arrived. He chased it all: knowledge, sensuality, legacy, power. And yet, looking back, he calls it all Vanity of Vanities. The Hebrew word, translated as vanity, meaninglessness, or vapor, appears nearly 40 times. It evokes smoke, breath, or a fleeting mist that slips through your fingers. Nothing lasts. Nothing ultimately satisfies on its own. Solomon's experiment in living becomes a cautionary tale for every generation chasing fulfillment through achievement, pleasure, or control. He opens with saying, "What has been will be again, what has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun." In Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. Generations rise and fall like waves. Rivers run to the sea but never fill it. The sun rises and sets in endless cycles. Human labor feels Sisyphean, pushing the boulder uphill only for it to roll back down. Kings rise with fanfare and crumble into dust. Empires that seemed eternal fade into footnotes. Wealth changes hands. The oppressor grows richer while the oppressed remain trapped. Even wisdom, Solomon notes, brings sorrow. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief. The more you understand the world's injustices, hypocrisies, and randomness, the heavier the burden becomes. Ignorance can be bliss. Insight reveals the abyss. This bleak lens sharpens in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, the passage that encapsulates Solomon's depressive yet honest realism. He reflects, "So I reflected on all this, and concluded that the righteous and the wise and what they do are in God's hands. But no one knows whether love or hate awaits them. All share a common destiny, the righteous and the wicked, the good and the bad, the clean and the unclean, those who offer sacrifices and those who do not. As it is with the good, so with the sinful. As it is with those who take oaths, so with those who are afraid to take them. This is the evil in everything that happens under the sun. The same destiny overtakes all. The hearts of people, moreover, are full of evil, and there is madness in their hearts while they live. And afterward, they join the dead." One event, death, awaits everyone. No exemptions for the pious, the generous, the brilliant, or the faithful. The murderer and the martyr both return to dust. This is not a denial of God's existence or ultimate justice. Solomon repeatedly affirms God's sovereignty. Rather, it is a bitter acceptance of our limited perspective. From our vantage point under the sun, a phrase repeated over 30 times, emphasizing life viewed from a purely earthly, temporal angle. We cannot reliably predict outcomes or sort the righteous from the wicked by their fortunes. Cosmic forces, divine timing, and hidden purposes elude us. Life's apparent randomness feels like a cruel joke. Solomon doesn't stop at observation. He catalogues the vanities he personally tested. Pleasure? I denied myself nothing my eyes desired. I refused my heart no pleasure, yet it proved empty. Work and legacy? He built grand projects, only to realize a fool could inherit and squander them. Wealth? It cannot buy peace or guarantee happiness. The lover of money never has enough. Oppression? He saw tears of the oppressed with no comforter. Even love and relationships twist in a fallen world. Everything temporary, everything evaporating. This surrender to darkness can feel nihilistic. Why strive if the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong? Why plant seeds if storms destroy the harvest? Why love if loss awaits? Solomon wrestles with these very thoughts. He acknowledges the heart's folly and humanity's bent toward evil, yet he refuses total despair. Amid the gloom, glimmers of light appear. Enjoy the simple gifts God provides: food, drink, meaningful work, companionship, while you can. A person can do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in their own toil. This too, I see, is from the hand of God. Life's joys are not the goal, but graces to receive gratefully. So what is the point? Solomon saves his clearest answer for the book's conclusion after exhaustive exploration, as he states, "Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil." The point transcends the visible. Meaning is not manufactured by human effort, but found in a reverent relationship with the Creator. Fear God means awe, reverence, and humble obedience, not terror. It anchors us when circumstances mock fairness. It reminds us that this life is not the whole story. Judgment implies ultimate justice, wrongs righted, virtues rewarded, mysteries resolved. What seems futile under the sun gains eternal weight when viewed from above it. Ecclesiastes does not promise easy answers or prosperity theology. It offers realism seasoned with hope. In a world of pandemics, inequality, political corruption, broken families, and random tragedy, Solomon's voice feels startlingly contemporary. Social media highlights others' highlight reels while we nurse private failures. Billionaires hoard while billions scrape by. The good die young cliché persists because it so often rings true. Yet the book invites us to live anyway, with eyes open to vanity, but hearts fixed on the eternal. Many interpreters see Ecclesiastes as a bridge to the New Testament gospel. Solomon's search ends in surrender. Christ offers fulfillment. Where vapor slips away, the solid rock stands. Life's cycles find purpose in redemption's story. Death loses its sting in resurrection hope. Reading Ecclesiastes honestly can be depressing at first. It forces confrontation with mortality and mystery. But it liberates too, freeing us from the tyranny of expecting utopia here and now. We labor not for immortal empires, but for the glory of the one who holds eternity. We love not perfectly, but faithfully. We seek wisdom, knowing it points beyond itself. In the end, Solomon's horrifying conclusion births quiet joy. Everything under the sun is temporary, yes, but the God above the sun is not. Live fully in the present, enjoy his gifts, obey his ways, trust his timing. The same fate, death, awaits all, but different destinies follow. For those who fear God, the vapor gives way to glory. That is the beautiful paradox hidden in Ecclesiastes. Acknowledging life's meaninglessness apart from him reveals its profound meaning in him. In a frantic age obsessed with legacy and self-actualization, this ancient book whispers a countercultural truth. Stop chasing the wind, turn to the one who calms it. The Bible's harshest book may be one of its most merciful invitations in the Old Testament. Subscribe for more philosophy videos like this, and check out our other videos below.